Now on to the guided practice for trigonometric ratios. So remember that we need to label our triangle first every time the hypotenuse, and then determining which angle that we're looking from, the opposite and adjacent. Our first four, we are writing each trigonometric ratio as a fraction and a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth. So remember that when we are looking for a fraction and a decimal, you are literally only typing that fraction into your calculator. You are not typing in sine, cosine, or tangent. So we need to label our triangle. Our hypotenuse is 5. And then we're looking first from angle C. So angle C is right here. Next to it is its adjacent. Across from it is the opposite. And we're looking for sine. Sine, remember, is opposite over hypotenuse. So we need opposite of angle C, which is 4, over our hypotenuse, which is 5. And we want to round to the nearest hundredth place. So when there's not one, it means it's a 0. So we have 0.80. Next up, we want the tangent of angle A. So that means we need to label our triangle from angle A. So angle A is up here. Next to it is its adjacent. So that's angle 4. Our number 4 is our adjacent for angle A. And across from angle A, 3 is the opposite for angle A. So tangent, remember, is opposite over adjacent. So opposite angle A is 3. Adjacent to angle A is 4. And what is 3/4 as a decimal? 0.75. Next up, we want cosine of angle A. So remember, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we want cosine of angle A. So we're looking from angle A. We need adjacent to angle A, which is 4, over the hypotenuse, which is 5. So we got 4/5. What's our decimal? 0.80. Don't forget that 0 after that 8. Then we're looking for cosine of angle C. Remember, again, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent to angle C is that 3. Hypotenuse is 5. So what is 3/5 as a decimal? 0.60. Don't forget that 0, because we're looking for a hundredth place. Next up, we want to find the length of BC. So BC is right here. Again, label your triangles. So our hypotenuse is AC. AB is the adjacent. CB is the opposite, because we are looking from that 23 degrees. So we need our hypotenuse and our opposite, because those are the sides that we have information about. So which trigonometric ratio are we going to use? We're going to use sine, because we have opposite and hypotenuse. So sine of 23 degrees over 1 equals our opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 4. And we're going to cross multiply. So we have 4 times sine of 23 degrees equaling x. We're going to take that to our calculator. 4 times sine of 23 degrees. And we're rounding to the hundredths place. So after that 6 is a 2, so it stays the same. So we have 1.56. inches. Next up, we are looking for QR, so that is X. Again, label your triangle. Across from a right angle is our hypotenuse. And we are looking from that 50-degree angle. So next to that 50-degree angle is the adjacent. Across from it is the opposite. So we have our adjacent because that's the number we were given, and we have the opposite because that's what we were looking for. So opposite over adjacent is tangent. So we have tangent of our angle, 50 degrees. Again, over 1 equals our opposite, which is x, over our adjacent, which is 8.1. We're going to cross multiply. So we have 8.1 times tangent of 50 degrees equaling x. And we can go ahead and put that in our calculator, 8.1 times tangent of 50 degrees. And we get 9.65 because we are rounding again to the hundredths place. And after the hundredths place is a 3, so the score stays the same. So 9.65 meters. And the last one on the guided practice, we're looking for KL, so that is X. Label our hypotenuse. That's the 2.5. And then we are labeling, looking from that 61 degrees. So next to that 61 degrees is our X, it's adjacent. Across from it is the opposite. So the two sides that we are going to use are hypotenuse and our adjacent. So which trigonometric ratio do we have? We need to use cosine. Cosine of our angle measure, which is 61 degrees, over 1 equals our adjacent, which is x, over 2.5. And again, cross multiply, so we have 2.5 times cosine of 61 degrees equaling x. So we can go ahead and put that in our calculator, 2.5 times cosine of 61 degrees. And we get 1.21 because after that last one is a 2. So 1.21 centimeters. Again, make sure that you are labeling your figure. Make sure that you are using that chart to figure out which trigonometric ratio you are using. Again, always circle your variable and the side that you have a number on because those are the two that you need to use.